Irene waits. First pitch hit to left field. Does it got it way back to the wall? It's at the wall. It's out of here. 2-0 San Diego.
The late Bart Giamatti, commissioner and poet laureate, once wrote of baseball, "It breaks your heart. It's designed to break your heart. The game begins in the spring when everything else begins again, and it blossoms in the summer, filling the afternoons and evenings, and then as soon as the chill rains come, it stops and leaves you to face the fall alone." In San Diego, chill rains seldom intrude on sunshine and high skies. Here, baseball seems designed not to break your heart, but to fulfill the promise of an eternal spring and an endless summer. In the early 90s, however, a big chill had fallen over the national pastime in America's finest city. The Padres had faced a long fall. Heartbreak had turned to something much worse: apathy and alienation. It was this emotional state that John Moores and Larry Lucchino found when they purchased the Padres in December 1994. Their challenge was daunting. How could they reverse the tide of indifference, return respect to the franchise, and restore hope to broken-hearted fans? How could they revitalize a club that in 1993 and 1994 was last in season tickets, last in attendance, and last in the standings? And how could they, in just 2 years, assemble a championship team, attract record crowds, and once again make it fun to be a fan?
Looking in your eyes, I see a paradise. This world that I found is too good to be true. Standing here beside you, want so much to give you this love in my heart that I'm feeling for you.
Let 'em say we're crazy. I don't care about that. Put your hand in my hand, baby. Don't ever look back. Let the world around us just fall apart. Baby, we can make it if we're heart to heart. And we can build this dream together, standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now. And
The story of the new San Diego Padres starts at the top. In January of 1995, San Diego said hello to the club's new owners. Meet John Moores. When the Houston native retired from active management in his successful computer software business, he and his family could choose to live anywhere in the world. They chose San Diego. A passionate sports fan, Moore set out to make the Padres financially stable, fan-friendly, and competitive on the field. He envisioned San Diego as a community that once again cared about its ball club, and the Padres as a ball club that once again cared about its community. Proud, hospitable, strikingly approachable, the Moores family set the tone. Moores knew he needed an experienced partner to help make his big dreams come true. Meet Larry Lucchino, a Pittsburgh native, Ivy League educated, Washington lawyer. In 15 years with the Baltimore Orioles, the last 6 as president, Lucchino produced contending ball clubs and brilliant marketing results. His crowning legacy, the vision, concept, and design of a traditional old-fashioned downtown ballpark with modern amenities. Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Moores and Lucchino made 3 basic commitments.
The first was to field a team worthy of the fans' support. The second was to create a new atmosphere at the ballpark and aggressively market that experience and the team to the entire region. And the third commitment was simply to be an active participant in the community.
Just a week after the purchase, the club made its landmark blockbuster 12-man deal with Houston, which added 2 players whose presence would reshape the new Padres. The Padres said, "We want you back," and it showed on opening day. Players personally greeted fans at the gate and gave them caps, and honored the AFC champion Chargers, and welcomed the San Diego Chicken, and finished with a bang. Rookie manager Bruce Bochy led the club to the most improved record in the National League in 1995. Steve Finley played the best center field San Diegans had ever seen.
3-1 delivery. Line drive, straight away center field, hit pretty well. Finley at the wall, and he caught it! What a catch by Finley!
Third baseman Ken Caminetti brought a football player's intensity to third base. The rugged switch hitter also blasted a career-high 26 home runs. No one was happier to see the Padres reaching for such solid stars than the one constant in their constellation, the last link to the 1984 pennant-winning Padres, who had waited patiently and loyally for his club to contend again.
They worked at it, you know, and when you work at something, you're going to get better at it. And these 2 guys are 2 examples of guys who put their time in, who are at the ballpark early, almost every day, getting there, working on their stroke, working on their skills, and benefited from it.
Tony Gwynn, the man with 5 silver bats, welcomed these players with open arms. The greatest Padre ever set power marks and drove in a career-high 90 runs. And oh yes, silver bats make that 6. Teamwork, professionalism, and unity were contagious. So was winning.
The 0-1. High chopper towards second. Backhanded by Morandini. Throw to first. One bounce. Head first slide. Save! And the ball game is over.
The 95 Padres were only 2.5 games out on Labor Day, but by the end of the month, they had to endure a sight that left a knot in their stomachs and a lump of longing too. The rival Los Angeles Dodgers clinching the division championship on the Padres' home turf.
Even last year, right as they did it, you know, we said, guys, next year we have to do this to them because this is no fun watching here on our home park.
Well, I'll be honest, I was glad that the players got to see the Dodgers celebrating. I think number one, it showed what you're playing for, and to see those players celebrating, I think the players can understand what you're playing for. We have not seen that here in San Diego since '84. So, and number 2 is, hey, they did it on our field. So hopefully there's something inside the players that say, hey, I don't want to see this again.
After the season, Lucchino promoted scouting director Kevin Towers, a former first-round draft pick as a pitcher, to general manager. Towers quickly acquired Wally Joyner to add his solid bat and superb defense at first base, right-hander Bob Tewksbury to demonstrate the art of control to a young pitching staff, and future Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson to show why he's the greatest leadoff man and base thief in baseball history.
Everybody wants to know how Ricky steals all those bases. It's simple. Last year, he hit over 300 for the 7th time. Plus, he's always up there with the league leaders in walks. And that's how Ricky does it. Ricky gets on.
Believe in the Padres and keep their faith.
After an upbeat spring training, the Padres came home full of optimism to Jack Murphy Stadium, which also had a new look. Lucchino had installed palm trees early in '95 to give the stadium a San Diego signature. Moores had installed dugout seats and later coaches' corners to bring fans closer to the action. The Padres were the first to display the speed of each pitch on the scoreboard. A new Jumbotron presented new vivid video images in '96. A new scoreboard in play in right field brought up to the minute scores from other games and details of the pennant race. Because the board was in play, Jack Murphy Stadium had asymmetrical dimensions for the first time. Fans were dancing in the aisles, dancing in the streets. Padres Street, that is, the outer concourse at the stadium, which became a non-stop block party. Ushers and ticket takers went out of their way to say yes and to accommodate fans in any language. Fans frustrated by baseball's unresponsiveness on a national level voiced their opinions and their suggestions to Padre leaders and players face-to-face in therapeutic Tell It to the Padres sessions. But foremost on their minds was baseball, watching a good team that hustles and plays hard every game. And by the spring of 1996, fans always eager to believe were encouraged to keep the faith. A chilly opener in Chicago barely went to the Cubs. But then the confident Padres ran off 4 straight road wins, including a 17-run attack in Houston.
He just smoked that ball to left field, and it is gone. Oh, what a bench.
The Padres would have the best road record in the National League and best in club history, 46 wins, 35 losses. The Padres opened their home season in first place, a position they would occupy 142 days in 1996 with a sellout crowd ready to greet them. But once again, it was the players who greeted the fans at the gates, souvenir hats in hand. A new Padre was introduced by his biggest fan, a young lady who came down from Oakland to give her favorite player a surprise welcome to his new home.
Leading off for the Padres, the left fielder, number 24, Ricky Henderson.
Opening day was a San Diego symphony of sights, sounds, and sentimental moments. The ceremonial first pitch delivered by a Hall of Fame hero, a native son, Hoover High grad, broke in with the original Pacific Coast League Padres in 1936. Ted Williams and Tony Gwynn were the twin pillars of 60 years of Padres baseball.
Ladies and gentlemen,
retired veteran umpire Ed Runge hailed the official beginning of the season.
Play ball!
Now it was time to show the fans what the current club could do.
Hammond ready, the pitch. Drive, left center field, drops for a base hit. Here's Reed coming around. Holding at second base is Henderson. 5-2 San Diego. Here's a pitch to Tony. There go the runners. Line shot, left center field, base hit. Here's Wilmington coming in. Henderson scores. Finley to third. Padres 6. Marlins 2, and San Diego is taking it away.
A super opener, a spectacular show. The wins continued during opening week, and the fans started lining up for tickets. The defending world champion Atlanta Braves started a 4-game series with 4-time Cy Young winner Greg Maddux. But Andy Ashby outdueled him 2-1, snapping Maddox's Major League record 18-game road winning streak that dated back to 1994. The Padres beat another Cy Young winner, Tom Glavine, to secure a split with the champs. And on the last day of opening week, John Smoltz gave the first indication that the Braves would have another Cy Young winner in 1996.
Pitch to Tony. Fly ball right field, down to left field. Down the line. Into the corner. Kletzko, and over the shoulder. Grab a bobble. He drops the ball. They'll probably keep the no-hitter, I would imagine. I don't know. We'll see it on the ruling as Tony Gwynn goes into second base. Opposite Opposite field fly into left field. Tailing away from Klesko down the line. He ain't the all-time best out there. That ain't Barry Bonds.
The Enchanting Week was a splendid festival with daily events. Fan Appreciation Day, Community Leaders Night, Military Opening Day, the start of the GTE Executive Speaker Series, fireworks, and the first of the baseball nights in San Diego, a theme that would carry through the season like a souvenir of the Padres' resurgence. Every home Saturday night, fans received a high-quality gift from the Padres and a sponsor. The first was a ceramic 60th anniversary mug from Sequan Casino. And just 5 days after Teddy Ballgame threw out the first ball, another of the game's enduring legends came to town for a night of silver and gold. Stan Musial, the last National Leaguer to win 6 silver bats, presented the gem to the newest member of the exclusive club.
Please join us in congratulating number 19, Tony Gwynn.
Two other Padres were honored for playing the best center field and the best third base, as judged by managers and coaches who observed them. That was the second sellout of the week. A club record third capacity crowd, including 13,000 Little Leaguers, turned out the next afternoon for Kids Opening Day. The Padres were one of only 3 clubs in the major leagues with multiple opening week sellouts. This was the start of something special. Yes, the game starts anew every spring, and the Padres sprinted to their best start in club history, winning 35 of 55 games through June 1st. They were hitting their stride both at the plate and on the mound.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, sinker, struck him out. A new career high, 9 strikeouts. The 3-2 to Caminiti, high fly ball. That's well hit. Glenallen Hill is going back, waiting at the wall. He can still wait. It's gone. Home run, Caminiti. The Padres have a 4-home run game. They're whooping the Giants. But the ball game's on the line. Winning run at third base. Here's Franco's delivery. It's on the way to Gwynn. Ground ball, first base side. Down the line, base hit. Winning run. Here's Ricky Henderson. Padres win it 4-3. Oh, doctor. 1 out, 12th inning. Here's Brian Johnson. Couple of home runs, 17 RBIs, most of them recently. He hits one to deep left, and well, Floyd at the wall, leap, gone, home run, the Padres win. And the Padres have won their second extra inning game on this homestand.
There was a game against Philadelphia. I had my first career 5-for-5 game, and which I capped it off with the game-winning homer in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Here's a pitch by Springer. Hard drive right field. That could be it. It's on its way. It's out of here. 6-5, San Diego. Oh, doctor.
In his first 2 months as a Padre, Wally Joyner became the personification of the swinging friar, the lovable logo the Padres brought back in 1996.
When the Padres asked me to do this cover, I think that they were hesitant, number one, to ask me. And I said, sure, I'll do it. And she kind of like looked at me and said, well, maybe you don't understand. We want you to dress up. And so I said, yeah, it's not a problem. Not only do I love to laugh, but I also love to laugh at myself. It was great.
Joyner was hitting so well, the nation begged for some hitting tips.
They say that the ball comes from the pitcher in less than a second. The key to hitting is to be able to have your eyes and your mind tell you where the ball's going to be when it comes to the strike zone. Being comfortable and feeling comfortable and being at ease up at the plate is very, very important. If you hit the ball in that area, you more than likely won't feel it very much.
Power. Joyner, with his even-keeled demeanor and self-deprecating humor about his friar hairstyle, also symbolized an important new spirit of camaraderie in the clubhouse. This club had the most elusive of championship ingredients: good chemistry. Good players and good guys, they know how to have a good time, winning and laughing together.
Yeah, touch your lips together. I am not
Tony Gwynn.
Wow, that was awesome. Oh, get through.
He's got a chance to move up on the leaderboard. Not a hole there.
Hello.
Who does he think he is? Conan?
Brad, I'll give you that one.
Hello.
Oh, it's a good swing. Oh, I think he hit it fat. And yes, he did. He swallowed some grass. Poor chap. Better luck in the British Open. Tony Gwynn, he's about 120 yards out. I lost it.
I have no idea what it is.
Oh, heads up.
That was golf shot.
Tooks is different. Tooks had these teeth made up from his orthodontist that they were real crooked and had these braces, and he looked like Gomer, kind of like, you know, Gomer teeth. He did it to their wives on a flight. Excuse me, Mr. Gwynn, do you have some sugar? You have a candy bar or something in there? I need some sugar bad, you know. And she, oh God, yeah, here's a minute.
The laughter and the wins were put on hold temporarily, though, on June 2nd when the Padres suffered a tough break. Joyner went down with a fractured thumb, and the Padres missed both his bat and his glove, dropping 19 of their next 23. It could have been even worse, but Tony Gwynn, hobbling on an ailing heel that would get worse before it got better, produced one of an amazing 32 come-from-behind wins, 22 in the Padres' last at-bat.
4-3, Cardinals lead. Runners at first and third. The pitch, curveball hit high, right field. Could be. That ball's on its way. It's out of here. Oh, doctor!
The June swoon would have withered many clubs and their fans. But these were the new Padres, resourceful and resilient, and their fans kept the faith.
You know, we just got beaten Atlanta, and you know, they'd given us a tough time, and so we were a little bit down. As we pulled into the parking lot, and, you know, people are waving at us and yelling at us. We got out of the bus. I'll tell you, there were like 25 stunned guys standing in the parking lot, not knowing what to do, what to say. You know, guys got up and thanked the fans.
You guys are great. You guys are great. I'll tell you what, it was a long road trip, a long day today, and I tell you what, you should have heard the guys on the bus when we turned the corner here. What an uplifting crowd you guys are.
And really, from that point on, it was a kind of theme in the clubhouse that, you know, hey, we're going to go out here and we're going to play hard regardless of what happens. We're not going to get down on ourselves.
It's easy to like a player when he's going well, or a team that's going well, but when things go bad and struggle and you have somebody supporting you, it means a lot.
The spontaneous rally, inspired by KFMB radio, lifted and re-energized the Padres. They would go 14-8, including a pair of 4-game sweeps from the Giants in a crucial 22-game stretch against the Wild Wild West.
Put your flags in the air and launch them up and down. You can lit it up all over the town. And turn to the left, turn to the right. I don't care as long as she comes tonight. She's so mean, but I don't care. I love her eyes and her wild, wild hair. Dance to the beat that we like best. Heading for the 90s, living in the wild, wild west. The wild, wild west. The wild, wild
The Padres' revival was bolstered by the 27-game hitting streak of catcher John Flaherty, who together with sure-handed shortstop Chris Gomez had come from Detroit in a mid-June trade. They fit right into the lineup and solidified the defense up the middle, immediately feeling at home in San Diego. At the All-Star break, the Padres were ready for a 3-day rest, but right where they wanted to be, atop the National League West standings. A break for most of the team, but not for the hobbling future Hall of Famer who went to Philadelphia even though he was on the disabled list, and the goateed slugger who became the Padres' only player in the All-Star game. From his auto shop where he spends his off-season restoring cars, Caminiti recalled his feelings in Philly.
I come in, okay, so All-Star game, have some fun, you know, just let your hair down a little bit. Just don't strike out on 3 pitches, just make contact, you know. Foul the ball off before you strike out, you know.
Miss Caminiti just tagged one, and that ball is out of here.
And I was just trying to battle, and I relaxed a little bit and just put a good smooth swing and I'll jump.
The Padres began the second half of the season with mile-high hopes, including the All-Star game. Caminiti homered in 5 straight games. Wally Joyner was back, and they began in the hitter-friendly altitude of Denver. That series turned rocky, however, and Colorado peaked and won 3 torturous games. The Padres had to regroup again. They got it together at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, where they would have many memorable games in 1996. Back home, the Padres got revenge against the Rockies at sea level. Meanwhile, the Murph was packed to the view level with the biggest crowds in Padres history. This club struck a chord with its hustling, inspired play and a heart that was manifest on the field and in increased interaction with fans. True to the commitment to market and improve product aggressively throughout the region, the Padres expanded their horizons in several directions. Mexican fans were welcomed by the busload, 144 buses from Baja, in fact, in the Domingos Padres Con Tecate program. The club set its sights north, too. North County Community Nights honored individual municipalities in the area, and beautiful new Padres retail outlets opened north and south. The Padres reached out to the military, determined to become the home team of the Navy and Marine Corps.
We're here with Airman Justin Rhodes on the USS Kitty Hawk. They were kind enough to let us in. This is top secret material. This is the first camera in the history of the United States to actually get a view of this.
Basically, everybody works pretty much 15, 18 hours a day, so when they get a chance, when they get a break, they want to watch TV, we put on movies for them to watch.
So Justin's working 15 to 18 hours a day, and he's got the difficult job of watching movies, like Die Hard 3 right here. Hey, how you doing? You a Padre fan?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Been in California all my life, and I'm Padre fan and Dodger fan all the way.
Whoa. We didn't ask you if you were a Dodger fan. See, time's running out for you. That means you can't. They found out you're a Dodger fan, and they're gonna throw you over the edge right now. So, quick little question here: are you a Padre fan?
You betcha. Got it right here.
Oh, look at him. He's already got his early bird schedules. He got some dates mapped out. Were you gonna come out and see us?
Sure do. As soon as I get the transfer off here in about a month, I'll be on shore duty. Be ready to come out every chance I get.
Oh, that's great.
Padres players were instrumental in building these bonds. In 1995, they initiated the centerpiece of the club's community relations efforts, the Padres Scholars Program. Players donated funds to provide college scholarships for 25 deserving San Diego middle schoolers each year. Ownership matched the players' contributions, assuring that each student would receive a scholarship of $5,000 plus accrued interest when they were accepted to college.
Both my parents are teachers, and you know, my dad, he always said, I mean, he was known as Attila the Hun where he was, because he became the disciplinarian in the school, and he had them at the age where they were, I believe, 6th grade, and he would always said, that's the age you got to grab the kids and you got to take hold of them. That's where you shape them. All the guys really, when they really were told about it and understood it, were just glad that they could be a part of it and helped any way they could.
50 youngsters already have been selected as Padres Scholars, the largest program of its kind in San Diego and the first of its kind in Major League Baseball. The new Padres put down roots in other ways. Players, club, and civic officials planted 116 trees around the county, one for each home run of 1995. In '96, the Padres announced plans to refurbish 60 baseball fields in the region, one for each year of Padres history. The Compadres Club, a frequent flyer program, was baseball's first high-tech reward system, and the lovable swinging friar, lost since the last year of glory, 1984, made a triumphant return. The Padres were hot in the marketplace and on the field, where they also returned to glory. For the first time since '84, and only the second time in franchise history, the playoffs beckoned and San Diego caught pennant fever. Regulars and reserves all contributed. Scott Livingstone delivered clutch pinch hits. Louis Lopez and versatile Craig Shipley added more depth. And Arky Sinfraco took maneuverability to the extreme by playing 6 different positions. Left-handed Chris Gwynn was ready any time for Bruce Bochy's call. John Flaherty proved to be a take-charge receiver, and Brian Johnson, with a potent clutch bat, was a threat whenever he played. They caught the best starting rotation and deepest bullpen the Padres ever had. The defense, with 5 Gold Glove winners, allowed the pitchers to throw strikes. The bullpen led the majors with a 3.30 earned run average, held opposing hitters to a 212 batting average, and had 2 amazing hitless streaks of 9 and 11 innings. The Padres were amply blessed with good young arms. Joey Hamilton would lead the club with a career-high 15 wins. Andy Ashby started and finished strong despite a stint on the DL. Sean Bergman, Tim Worrell, Doug Bockler, Willie Blair, and Dario Veras set up closer Trevor Hoffman, who earned 42 saves. Scott Sanders surprised skeptics coming back from arm troubles to become an effective starter. And speaking of skeptics, Fernando Valenzuela shocked those of little faith, winning 17 games over a one-year period. John Smoltz was the only National League hurler with more wins over that span. As the July 31st trading deadline approached, a date which so often in the past had meant the Padres would send stars to other clubs for their pennant push, GM Kevin Towers reversed that role. Their depth of pitching enabled the Padres to make a blockbuster trade for slugging outfielder Greg Vaughn.
One thing that we tried to achieve, when we started putting this ball club together last winter, was to bring great chemistry to this ball club, and I think we made the trade. We felt like we added another piece to the puzzle, a guy that fit well in with our ball club, 40-plus home run guy, 120 RBIs. All of us there in the offs that time were elated, excited, and just couldn't wait to see him in the pinstripes and coming up behind Ken Caminetti.
July turned to August, and the Padres, by now proven road warriors, embarked on a long trip that included a milestone.
Line to left center field. There is Tony Gwynn's hit number 2,500.
That trip culminated in a historic series. Multiple uses of Jack Murphy Stadium in mid-August required that the Padres find a weekend getaway. So they flew to the majestic city of Monterrey, Mexico, celebrating its 400th birthday. The baseball-happy city welcomed the first ever regular season Major League games played outside the United States or Canada.
Reaching out to Mexico was an important and I think somewhat obvious market definition and marketing opportunity. It was obviously precipitated by the Republican convention scheduling issue, but we then ran with it thereafter. And as I look back on the year, it is certainly one of the highlights.
Add to this, deep left field, way back, grand slam home run by Greg Vaughn.
What poetry when Fernando Valenzuela, the greatest player in the history of Mexico, took the mound in Game 1 and shut out the Mets for 6 spellbinding innings, leaving with a 15-1 lead in the 7th. The ovation was heart-stopping for Valenzuela, fittingly the first man to win a Major League game in Mexico. After the Mets evened the series Saturday, Sunday belonged to Ken Caminetti.
They had a list of things you could eat and couldn't eat, and they gave us pills to take every day. One on the list was don't eat anything, any vegetation that grows under the ground, and I just completely forgot.
Here comes Caminetti, being carried by two guys, and he was in such pain that, you know, the concern no longer was whether he was going to play that day. It was whether, you know, his well-being was all right.
Well, I was pretty sick.
They laid him down. He was in his fetal position. Really, it looked as bad as any player I've ever seen.
And I called Hutch, and I don't usually try and bug the trainers late at night, but I said, you got to help me. I'm about to die.
And Dr. Fronick and another doctor were in there working on him, and they ended up hanging this coat hanger up on the ceiling right beside my office, and had the IV hooked up to him.
Put 2 bags of solution in me.
I walked by him, but with about 20 minutes ago in the game, heading out toward the field, and came and said, don't give up on me.
They wanted to take my vitals, and I said, we got a 4-7 game. I got to go out, you know, get ready.
I said, hey, there's no way you're playing today. But for some reason, I didn't ride out the lineup completely.
They took the IV out like right before 4 o'clock, and we had a 4-7 game.
Sure enough, about 5 minutes before the game, here he comes. He's putting his shirt on, his hat, and he goes out there and makes a few throws, and he says, hey, I'm ready, let's go.
Gosh, I don't know if I ate the Snickers before the first at-bat or after the first at-bat.
If you would have wrote a script about this in a movie, you wouldn't have believed it.
Give me a Snickers. King size.
Wilson's pitch hit in the air to left center field. Lance Johnson looking back, way back. Goodbye, home run into the sea of white. Wilson's pitch hit in the air to right field. Lance Johnson going back. Warning track, looking up, and goodbye, home run. A 3-run shot for Ken Caminiti, and his second home run of the game.
What was really funny is Wally Joyner, because he's like the clown on the team. Well, he had struck out 3 times straight, and after his 3rd strikeout, he walked into the dugout, laid down on the dugout floor, and said, give me an IV and a Snickers.
As the tale of Senor Snickers' feat in Mexico was told and retold, becoming instant legend, Caminiti emerged as the prime MVP candidate.
High fly ball, right center field. That ball to the wall. At the wall, it is out of here. Grand slam home run, Caminiti. 4-0 San Diego.
He lived up to that role the rest of the season, earning National League Player of the Month honors in both August and September, despite a torn rotator cuff in his left shoulder that would require extensive postseason surgery. In August, he drove in 38 runs, hit .344 with 14 homers, a National League record for switch hitters. His 4 multi-homer games included 3 in which he homered from each side of the plate. In '95, he had become the first to accomplish the feat more than twice in a season, and by mid-September of 1996, he had done it 7 times in 2 seasons. After hitting .375 in September, Cammy had 40 home runs, 130 RBIs, and was a unanimous choice for MVP. Caminiti was inspiring new lyrics to the summer's most popular beat.
This one grabbed by Caminiti. Man, that's one you can hang a star on.
It's going in, gone. Grand slam, Ken Caminiti.
Need a hero, call on Caminiti. You can bet the man is always ready. Grand slamming, he's jamming. You can always count on Caminiti. From the left side, from the right side, either way his hitting has a bright side. Hey, there's a man that we know, Caminiti. He can dive, he can slide, and he's piling up the ribbies. The MVP playing here in our city. Hey, Caminiti. Hey, there's a man that we know, Caminiti. Hits a home run and it sure looks pretty. Plays when he's hurt cause the man is tough and gritty. Hey, Caminiti. Now don't you worry about the line drives that come his way. You know the man dives, won't let them get by him. And at the plate you know they won't deny him.
Caminiti to his left. Oh, a great stop in between hops. Joyner grabs down on the bag and got him. What a great play by Ken Caminiti. Terrific play by Caminiti.
Put him on third, hey, the man is like a magnet. Hit a line drive and the man is gonna grab it. Try to steal third, better watch out cause he'll tag ya. Hey, Caminiti. Hey, there's a man that we know, Caminiti. He can dive, he can slide, he can drive in the ribbies. The MVP playing here in our city. Hey, Caminiti.
Caminiti, a great backhand on the line. An off-balance throw out at first base. What a magnificent star-hanging play. Coburn on the curveball. Caminiti. Big-time play, throws from his... Oh, my goodness, what a play. Every time he does another one, we thought he's made his all-time best, and unbelievable. You talk about star-hanging, unbelievable throws. Look at this, from the seat of his pants. And it's a strong throw, and the guy's not even in the picture.
Diving to this side. I don't like to land stretched out because my shoulder's messed up. So when I dove, I kept my shoulder in here, and I kind of caught the ball right like that. And when I fell down, I rolled over, and I think I was in this position right here. And there's no way I was going to stand up and throw it. So I just stayed right here and just went, and made it.
Good toss by Ken, and finally brings in the loss of 8 years old, San Clemente.
The Padres burst into September in their first ever red-hot pennant race. From June 9th through the end of the season, the Padres and Dodgers occupied the top 2 spots in the West and were never more than 2.5 games apart. Throughout this scintillating September, new heroes emerged every day.
The pitch on the way to Vaughn. Hard drive left field, there it is. It's on its way. The Padres go ahead. 6-5. Oh, Doctor! I like the Kenner's going to get a fastball. Drive to right field. Did he get it? He got it. Finley went homer. The Padres have won.
It was almost an impossible pitch, and I know that any of the scouts sitting behind home plate, they could not believe it, and if they wrote it down in the book, the people that read it wouldn't believe it.
Here's the 3-1 delivery. Gomez watches, waits, a drive left center field. Could it drop? Will it drop? It does drop. Here comes Vaughn. Here's the race. The Padres win it. Oh, Doctor! They did it again.
On a Saturday afternoon, Jody Reed was the hero du jour.
Smith throws, swing, and there's a blooper into right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Here comes Vaughn to the plate. The throw to the plate. He scores and the Padres win.
The community was turned on and the community turned out. The season's final homestand began with a much-anticipated 4-game, 4-date showdown with the Dodgers, and Swinging Friars Road drew record crowds. The showdown turned into a spectacular standoff. L.A. took the opener, but then Joey Hamilton and amazing Steve Finley established dominance in Game 2.
He hung one again. It goes deep again. He put a charge in that ball. It's going and gone.
The Dodgers gained the upper hand in Game 3 and went for the knockout by sending ace Hideo Nomo to the mound Sunday in his first start since throwing a no-hitter at Denver's Coors Field, of all places.
Drive into right center field. Mondesi's not going to get it. Henderson will score. Green will have a double. Drive to right field. The Padres lead.
The split of the 4 games showed how close these teams were. But little did we know that was only the beginning of that story. The Rockies, who had fallen from the race, ambushed the Padres in the last 2 home games of the regular season, even though the series included a record-setting homer by Ken Caminiti.
He tied it up.
The 2 losses, however, meant the Padres' quest to make postseason play would come down to a season-ending, title-deciding 3-game series at Dodger Stadium. They were in the right place for a Hollywood finish.
I don't think anybody was really worried about that series. I mean, we knew we had to go in there and sweep. You know, we had great pitching, and we knew our pitching could shut them down.
You know, this team believed, you know, and like I said, from the start of spring training to that very last game in L.A., I don't think there was much of a doubt that we were going to somehow find a way to get it done.
Only the most faithful believers and the Padres themselves expected the sweep San Diego needed to win the National League West. Nothing had come easily for this Padres club, and the opening game was no exception. The Padres were down 2-1 after 6. Their hero, the league MVP, batted in the 8th.
2-2 to Caminiti. Curveball and a high drive into deep center. Back goes Curtis. It is gone. Caminiti hits his 40th to tie up the game, and it looked like a big, slow curveball.
9 innings would not be enough to decide this game, and in the 10th, the hero batted again.
The 3-0 pitch coming up, swung on and hit down the left field line. That's going to be trouble, bouncing on the grass, hitting off the box seats. Hollingsworth gets it to Gagne. Finley coming to the plate to score, and Caminiti has done it again as he doubles in the go-ahead run in the 10th inning after knocking in the tying run in the 8th.
And just those whole 3 games with our backs to the wall, and we went in there and we're saying, okay, you know, these guys got all the pressure. They're supposed to win right now because, you know, they're looking at us. We're out of it. They can beat us any day of the week. And we're saying, you know, let's let them think back.
Trevor Hoffman sealed Tim Worrell's win for his 40th save, and the Padres were at least guaranteed a playoff for the wild card berth. But no one wanted to settle for that.
We go into the clubhouse after the game, and everybody's excited about winning, but it's, I mean, you look at the guys, and you can see that we're not finished.
Let's just go out and have some fun and spoil their fun, and hopefully by Sunday we can come out Nationally West champions.
The Padres came right back the next afternoon. Again, they had to come from behind. The Dodgers led 2-0 in the 6th. Steve Finley, an MVP candidate in his own right, came through again.
Gets into one into deep right. Isn't enough. Track, wall, 2-1, Dodgers. Number 30.
And Chris Gomez had a chance to tie it.
2 on, nobody out, 6th inning, and that's into right down the line. Caminiti will score to tie it. Joyner heads to 3rd. Gomez into 2nd. It's a 2-2 game.
In the 8th, with the bases loaded, Tony Gwynn looked to his favorite hole for the go-ahead hit. Poetic justice prevailed as he clinched his 7th batting title with what he called the biggest hit of his 14th straight 300 season.
To the left side and through. Reed scores. Here comes Vaughn. It's a 2-run single and a 4-2 Padre lead.
Trevor Hoffman was poised to save the 2nd straight win for Tim Worrell.
Hansen strikes out and the game is over. The Padres win it 4-2 and tomorrow have a chance to win the NL West.
I've been in the right situation the last 2 days to get the W, but you could give it to any of the pitchers or any of the players. I mean, if their statistics were wins and losses, you could hand it to anybody.
What can you say, man? This is beautiful. Such a big game, and you know, Mr. San Diego gets the big hit and puts us ahead, and bullpen did its job, and it's just a great game.
The victory clinched a wild card berth, but again, these Padres were focused solely on a grander goal.
Today feels good. It's nice to know you're going to be playing next week, but I want to win a division. You know, we came up here on a mission, and nobody thought but us. Nobody thought that, you know, we'd at least take the first 2 games. You know, we're the only ones who thought we would.
And so it came down to the very last day of the 6-month season. Here it was, 2 very different teams from 2 very different Southern California towns who had stalked and measured each other for the better part of 4 months, dead even, going into one last game for the National League West crown. Bob Tewksbury was brilliant for 7 innings. Rookie Dario Veras, escaping jams with uncommon cool over 3 nerve-wracking innings, maintained the shutout. After the 9th inning of the 162nd game, these 2 gallant teams were still in a dead heat. 9 innings, once again, would not be enough. Through the 10th, and then the 11th. Finley got on, Caminiti followed. The Padres needed another hero, the pinch hitter, who stayed ready every minute despite seldom being the man of the hour. The call came in the 11th inning of the 162nd game. And Chris Gwynn, sometimes lost in his big brother's shadow, came up against his former team with the game on the line, the championship on the line, and the pride of San Diego on the line.
And I got just to the other side right when he hit the ball. And the yell, the sound that the guys made on the bench, if you could have been there.
Driven to right center. That's in the gap. Finley will score easily. Cannonini is getting away. Gagney's throw to the plate is cut, and it's a two-run double for Chris Gwynn.
Manager Bruce Bochy had shown the ultimate belief in his players. He had kept the faith in all of them. Bob Tewksbury, Dario Veras, and Chris Gwynn.
But I couldn't have been happier for him in L.A. because, you know, he had gone through a lot, and he had kept working hard, and he deserved that hit. He really did.
The Dodgers wouldn't go easily in their half. Who thought they would? But Trevor Hoffman, called on to finish off the dangerous division rivals for the third straight day, showed what a true closer is made of.
A ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. And this time he did strike him out. Man, you can hang a star on the entire season. Oh, doctor.
That's what it's about, you know? A group of guys with a lot of chemistry and just coming through and for the main cause. This is reaping the benefits right here.
Fans delighting in the championship sent the club off to St. Louis to play the Central Division champions. But the Cards dealt the Padres 2 tough defeats. Fans again welcomed the club home, reminding them to keep the faith. And in the season's final game, the Padres battled as hard and heroically as they had in any game all year. The lead seesawed, and the Cards had the edge when guess who batted in the bottom of the 8th.
There's a drive right center field, maybe, near the wall, at the wall, to the wall, it's out of here! We got a 5-5 ball game for Hold Doctor!
This defied belief. Oh my, it was the stuff of fantasy. But Brian Jordan made a sterling rally-killing catch, then delivered the knockout punch in the 9th into the palms, and the Padres ran out of innings. St. Louis was the winner, but on this night, there were no losers. Perhaps the game is designed to break your heart. But Padre fans were sad not so much because their team lost, but because this most extraordinary season was over. The long-running show had been so rousing, so rapturous, no one wanted to see it end. Drained, more than disappointed, exhausted but still exhilarated from the show-stopping drama, fans wished for one more curtain call. San Diegans expressing appreciation for the finest season they could have ever imagined and some of the purest performances they could have ever hoped to witness. The Padres had listened to their fans all year, and they would not turn a deaf ear now. They emerged to celebrate the renaissance of baseball in San Diego. The community once again cared enough to be heartbroken and hailed the heroes who had made it so. The Padres returned the salute, solidifying the bond. Maybe that is the magic of baseball. You can lose a game and win something greater. That is the richest reward, if you keep the faith.
Now I had the time of my life. No, I never felt like this before. Yes, I swear it's a truth, and I owe it all to you. 'Cause I had the time of my life, and I owe it all to you. I've been waiting for so long. Now I finally found someone to stand by me. We saw the writing on the wall as we felt this magical fantasy. Now with passion in our eyes, there's no way we could disguise it secretly. So we take each other's hand, 'cause we seem to understand the urgency. Just remember, you're the one thing I can't get enough of. So I'll tell you something. This could be love, because I had the time of my life. Never felt this way before. Yes, I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you. 'Cause I had the time of my life, and I searched through every open door till I found the truth, and I owe it all to you. Had the time of my life. No, I never felt this way before. Yes, I swear it's a truth, and I owe it all to you.